I usually don't ask this, yeah, but you met somebody in those 21 years.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
When did you meet that gentleman?
I met him in 2007.
Okay, 2007.
So when I was still in med school.
Okay, when you he saw you everything, the surgery, he's witnessed all of that.
Yeah.
Okay, and at what point did you get married?
2016.
Okay, so there was a long period of you being both busy and working and things. So 2020, you're in the UK. Had you had a child by then?
Yes.
Okay. So this is a full package that your dad is getting back.
Yeah.
You know, he sent off a girl to Bath to go for A-levels. He got a whole family back when eventually he decided to come back.
Yeah.
What was the decision like to come back to Kenya?
That everyone asks me that, and I'm like, it wasn't a decision. I knew when I left Kenya, I knew I was coming back. So people kept
you just
telling
took the
me,
long way.
I just took the very long way. People used to say, you just stay, just just accept it. You're there, your family is there, your roots. I'm like, no, in my head, like the whole time. And thankfully, when I got married, Daniel is my husband. He was also of the same mind. He was like, you finish your things,
and he's school. A Kenyan, for those who don't know. So she was really determined to keep that Kenyan tether. Okay, so Daniel the Kenyan married you.
Yeah, he's married and he's working and he's finished his studies, and he's like, let's go back when you finish, then we'll go back. Yeah.
There's so many things.
So it wasn't like a decision like, oh, right now this is not, No, it was, when do I finish? I used to tell my seniors or my mentors towards the end, I need to learn everything. In the UK, people specialize towards the end. Plastic surgery is huge. Yes. So someone does the face, another person does, arms, torso, whatever. So I need to learn everything, because when I go to Kenya, I can't say, I don't do that. So what I'm trying to say is I had that mindset.
Yes.
And everyone who was training me and everything, they knew that I'm going back to Kenya.
What did you encounter when you came back?
I'm still very fresh, I think. Yeah. So I'm still trying to figure that bit out.
Yes.
So when I came back, because I'm coming back with a family, so it was more settle the family, settle the kids, they're in school. Thankfully, I got a job. I came back with a job lined up at Aga Khan.
Yes.
And I'd been also determined and very I want to work.
I don't think there's ever been a second of your existence that you were not determined. So we've established that you're a very determined person. You applied for a job from the UK.
Yeah.
Would you advise a lot of people to do that instead of coming here and just sussing out the landscape? Would you advise?
Definitely. Definitely. For someone who's out there, there's tons of opportunities here. But psychologically, it's a lot better when you know that you're going back to something. It's easier, especially if you're a family person like me, knowing that it makes the decisions easier. So I think.
Do you feel that you've come back and you're establishing yourself as one of the most highly qualified plastic surgeons in the country?
Interesting questions. I think I am qualified. Am I the most highly qualified surgeon? I've had a lot of education. Yeah, I've had a lot of bookwork, but being a surgeon is also experience, right? So as a young surgeon, I have to be humble enough to say that I'm not as experienced as a surgeon who's worked for 30, 40 years. I'm not as experienced, but knowledge-wise, yes, I do have a lot of knowledge. I've seen a lot of techniques. I've done a lot of techniques. Our training takes way longer than a lot of countries, than America, than I think maybe Australia maybe has a similar training program. So we take a lot of years training, and we do stuff when we're training. It's not like you're just watching someone doing it. They actually the consultants, they go off and they leave you to do a lot of stuff. Maybe once a week you operate with a consultant. The rest of the time you're on your own.
What about the gaps here with regards to the industry, for example? What have you noticed?
So when I decided I wanted to do plastic surgery, they didn't do plastic surgery training here.
Okay.
All the specialists had to do their surgical training and then go abroad, specialize, and then come back.
So these surgeons that you're saying, one second, these surgeons that you're saying are highly experienced.
They are experienced.
They studied abroad because there was no training here.
No training program here.
Okay.
And I have to put it out there. There is plastic surgeons in Kenya. There's a plastic surgery society.
Yes.
now there's plastic surgery training. I think that's something that people don't know. At Kenyatta National Hospital, they're training plastic surgeons. There's an organization called COSEXA. They train surgeons across Africa. They also have a plastic surgery training program. So it's there. I have colleagues now. I have people I can work with. I can hopefully teach as well. Mm-hmm. So it's a good landscape to come back to.
Looking for a plastic surgeon, reconstructive, cosmetic, etc. What must someone have for you to accept to go under the knife? Is it this Plastic Surgeon Association of Kenya registration number? Like, how can we keep Kenyans safe?
Yes, so I think keeping Kenyans safe, first of all, people have to know, as you are trying to bring out, what it takes to study to be a plastic surgeon. In America, they have something called board certification. So people study and then they have to do their fellowships and then they are board certified. In Kenya, I don't think we have a formal sort of board certification. In the UK, we didn't have a formal board certification. But what we had is you're registered with the General Medical Council, equivalent to the Medical Council for in Kenya, right? And to be registered there, they have to scrutinize your training, scrutinize your papers, whatever, and then they can accept that you're a plastic surgeon. So I think even here, people should look at you just Google their CV, ask them about their CV. Where did you train? They need to be surgeons first.
Yes.
Then after surgery, you have surgical training, because what's happening is we have people who are calling themselves cosmetic doctors. Yeah, cosmetic doctors. You can do anything, be a general practitioner, be a physician, whatever.
Steamer, be a person who steams the face.
Go and do a course in Turkey, some even go to Korea.
I know the ones in the islands, Barbados, Turks and Caicos.
Go do a course for a couple months or a year or whatever, then come back. That's not the same.
Okay.
They're doing procedures that maybe I also do, but the difference is if something goes wrong, they may not even recognize it. They may not be able to fix it.
Yes.
And you're left with an issue, because cosmetic surgery has, I have to say that, a little bit of a stigma here. So if you go and get botched, quote unquote, you're not going to be running around to say, look guys, this is what happened to me. So I think there's a lot of people suffering in silence.
Speaking of people suffering, I got a message when I highlighted the fact that you were going to be, on the show, from a lady who said that she wants to share her journey, and that she wants you to know about what she went through. I'm going to try and obscure the name, and I'm going to try and obscure, of course, the people that she's talking about. But she wrote, and it's quite long, please bear with me. Hi, Olivia. Hope you're doing well. I truly pray that you're well. I have been drawn to the show with regards to plastic surgery. I have been on this journey, and somewhat not a pleasant one. Here's my story. Last year, post massive weight loss. So we'll have to talk about weight loss surgeries as well, and then what happens after weight loss. I embarked on my reconstructive surgery journey, as my body was not well balanced, and really excess sagging skin can be as horrid as the initial weight itself to a certain degree. I embarked on this journey last year and did what I thought was enough due diligence. In Mombasa, we unfortunately, she highlighted that in caps, have only one plastic surgeon. We'll figure that out, whether it's true or false. I don't know. I settled down with this doctor. I had the surgery done on the 25th of January, 2023. At that time, it made sense, since I would be going back home to recuperate, and of course, everything else seemed good, as though I thought so. Now the drama begins. Okay, a couple of weeks after surgery, when I discovered the staff from the clinic that accompanied the doctor and I in theatre, wasn't a medic and a receptionist. He was initially employed as a cleaner and rose through the ranks to a receptionist after the receptionist resigned while I was still admitted post-surgery. So that's late January. Please note that there were other men in the theatre, so I didn't have an issue with men. However, I am quite certain that they are qualified theatre personnel. Since I found them in theatre, I had some good time in there before the doctor came in. I felt thoroughly betrayed because this man has seen my bare nakedness when he is not ethically mandated to do so. To add insult to injury, the doctor, disclosed my naked photos to a couple who know me. This couple is much younger than me, and I have literally seen this man growing up. I consider him to be like a younger brother. His wife, the patient, disclosed to me in utter shock and confidence. So clearly the doctor was trying to show, his work and blah, 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 blah. As if not enough malpractice, the doctor then started using that individual who started off as a cleaner, as a nurse's assistant. All right. We have to take a break because we have to go to commercial, but try and digest all of that, Daktari, and then we'll talk more when 00 Direct resumes in a bit.
Yeah.